I'm not quite sure how this happened so fast, but term 1 is almost over and exams are just around the corner. So here are my top 5 tips to avoid exam stress and make sure you do the very best you can in week 8 exams. My first one is you need a study plan. If you don't know what a study plan is or you've never used one before, you absolutely need one. You need to set goals of what you're going to achieve for each subject in preparation for the exam, and then sit down and plan out when you're going to get everything done. You need to schedule the next week to week and a half, right down to the hour every day. When you're going to sit down and study, when you're going to have a break, when you're going to go to sleep. It will absolutely change how you approach your exams and the amount of stress you have to deal with over the next couple of weeks. Get yourself a study plan. My next big tip is sleep. So many students run themselves completely into the ground right before exams. Just when they need their energy stores to be great, they've gone and stayed up really late cramming and they're exhausted by the time exams roll around. You really need to get at least a minimum of 8 hours and really try and get to bed roughly the same time every night. Otherwise, you're just going to massively stuff up your sleep patterns and you're going to be exhausted come exam time, which is just not good for your concentration, not good for your stress levels. You are better off getting to bed at a decent hour than staying up and cramming for another hour or two. If you need to organize your time a little bit better, see point 1, get yourself a study plan and make sure that you're having good sleep through the week leading up to exams. My next big tip is sunshine. Lots of people just spend so many hours staring at a screen cooped up in a small little room that they just get exhausted and it stresses their brain out. Lots of studies have shown that getting outdoors, getting some natural sunlight is going to reduce your stress levels and also help you to concentrate. So why don't you pick up your laptop, go to a park, sit down with a nice little picnic and study outdoors for a little while. Just give yourself a little bit of variety and some outdoor space. It's going to really just help to chill you out and really help to get you to concentrate a little bit more effectively as well. Lots of parks now have free Wi-Fi, so there's no reason why you can't just pack your gear up, go outdoors and get some sunshine while you study. My next big tip is social. So it's so easy when you're studying just to get really introverted and just lost in your own mind and you just forget about the rest of the world, have no contact with friends or family and hardly come up for air. Now, as part of that is just necessary, but it does get dangerous when you're just getting so introspective and you get stressed out within yourself. The old saying, a burden shared is a burden halved, is so true. So just come up for air every so often, talk to your family, tell them how it's going, just let them know what you've been up to. Grab yourself a study group if you can. I know the state library this time of the term is always crazy busy, but if you can find yourself a spot with some friends, you might not talk to each other for an hour or two while you study, but just being with other people is going to help you feel like you've actually got a little bit more control in your life and really reduce those stress levels. So don't forget about your support network as well. My next big tip is study cards. If you don't know, it's my tried and tested study technique. It's a very specific study strategy that involves chunking information and using a hierarchy of color coding to be able to memorize information effectively. And it's really great for any subjects where you've got to just remember some content. So things like science, biochemistry, even physics as well, any of your maths formulas. If you've got content tests in history and geography, study cards is really, really effective. So many students, when I ask them, what is study? They'll say to me something like, oh, it's just like you read through the material. You're going to waste hours of your life doing that and it's going to be really, really ineffective. Less than 8% of the population retain effectively the information that they read. So if you want to retain information and you want to make your study time worthwhile, you've got to have a specific strategy, and study cards is my #1 recommendation for that. So I would really recommend that you get yourself some specific study strategies over the next week or so. I really hope that helps you guys to just have some tips, some things that you can go to help reduce your stress levels and make sure that you're working to your fullest potential over the next week or so. All the best.